Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, 1982 Vanagon. And why is it here, you may ask? It looks pretty snazzy. No, not really. But it doesn't look bad. Overall, it has good bones from just a quick walk around. But digressing and regressing, the reason it's here, it's a revival. Yes, I don't know the last time it's ran, nor does the new owner. He said it did apparently run before he bought it. Everything ran before someone buys it, put it that way. I'm calling a little BS on the proximity, because I tried to start it and, well, number one, it doesn't start, hence it being here. Number two, fuel just goes everywhere. Number three, I noticed the car was on fire. So yeah, there's that. So what we're gonna do to this thing, taking the running with a grain of salt. It is a fueling engine, fuel injected. I'm not even gonna mess with it. I'll bring you in, I'll show you why. I know I state almost every time I try to save fuel injection engines. This one, cost to save versus just doing a carb swap. Carb swap, infinitely cheaper, mainly because I don't have history on this car. The owner doesn't have history on this car. No idea what's broken or what was broken, if it was running good. Basically, you're open Pandora's box when it comes to trying to diagnose this thing. So he's not a purist. I offered him to, hey, I can try to get this thing working. It might be great. You might come out ahead, or you might be in a hole a lot of money trying to get it going. And if you're not a purist, just go with the carb. I hate offering that off the bat, but like I said, let me bring you in. I'll show you what we got going on. But as of right now, we're just going to try to get this thing running. I got the carb kit in. Strip everything down, put it in. Hopefully this thing fires, because again, he hasn't heard it run. I haven't heard it run. We're taking a crapshoot on the engine. Also, no idea if the clutch works. The brakes, it has a pedal, so that's good. Hopefully they work. Basically, I'm trying to get, like I do with everybody, is try to get car in and out as cheap as possible on your end if you drop it off, versus nickeling, diming. But when you get in-ops, really hard to, even though I got the car, I can touch the car, really hard to still give an estimate. But as of right now, running, driving, stopping, that is what it's in here for. We'll get it running. Hopefully it'll drive and it stops and it's gone. If not, well, we'll address other things. Yeah, join me in the back. I gotta roll this thing forward a little bit to get back there. But should be fun. Hopefully semi-quick, semi-easy conversion, I guess. All right, guys. Whew. Before I go tearing stuff apart, so on and so forth, I'll show you what we're working with up close. Do I got smuts in my nose? No, just weird lighting. Anyway, yeah, inconducive for really working under here. But what I'm getting at, or what I was saying, is I don't know how it'll pick up in the camera. Let me give this light. All this yellowy looking stuff that's all over the place inside that cap. That's all fire extinguisher residue. If you've ever used a fire extinguisher, yeah, that's a problem. Has some new fuel lines. The German lines over here, they're leaking, even though they have clamps on it. I don't know if you'll see. The cold start injector down here, that's melted. The fire seems like it was right about here, from what I can tell. But the boots are melted down there. More wiring damage. Yeah, basically what I'm getting at is, for me to go through this thing and to get it back to tip-top condition, if I had history, if this thing said ran perfect, I would be more I don't know, more froggy to take it on as far as doing going after it. But because no one knows the history of this engine, I'm just going to basically do a hard pass. Like I said, the owner's not a purist. He doesn't care. So with that said, I give him the option, cheaper option to just go to fuel injection or remove the fuel injection, go carburetor. And that's what we're going to do. Let me round up some tools and start basically gripping and ripping everything out. Oh yeah, it's the other thing. Because reason I came up with the, I don't know, idea, or not even idea, the proposal, if you will, of doing the carb swap is I don't think this engine was loved, just due to the fact that I was trying to get it started, hence why I know that a fuel line leaks, and yeah, I almost caught it, made the sequel, Vanagon on Fire, Part Deuce. So, but the distributor, you probably won't be able to see, but the points gap is huge, and there's a sheet metal screw in there holding it down. I couldn't even try, because I have my sandpaper here. I was going to try to clean up the points, maybe be a hero, get this thing running and diagnose from there. Then I saw that. So I was like, all right, well, we'll pull the distributor, put in a new distributor, not a big deal. I was going to get a new Dizzy anyway. I'm going electronic, obviously. Not obviously to you guys, but obviously to pretty much anyone who watches this channel or my customers. They always get electronic ignition. Anywho, digressing and regressing. Saw that. Then I noticed the fire damage. Everything else. Looks like someone was messing with it. It has a new coil in it too. I don't know what ohms are in it. I mean, that's just in there. So I'm thinking it was someone got it running. I'm not gonna fully dispel the rumor, if you will, that it does run. I just think that when it runs, it goes boom. Not what you want. Hitler's revenge is real, and you don't want it. You want it to be. You don't want that to be in your head, I guess is what I'm getting at. So let me get some tools rounded up and start stripping this thing down. All right, let's start tearing this thing down. Oh, another thing I noticed. The MAF, whatever. This flapper door, that's cooked. Also no clippy holdiani. So someone's been messing with this thing. Again, not the end of the world, but you can tell someone's been playing around in here. Yeah. I don't know if it'll pick up, but yeah, she was cooked. Oh, the glue's even melted. Looks good inside. Yeah, that cover is no bueno. It got hot. I am going to save. Oh, nothing's tight on this engine. That's kind of a bonus. It's mildly tight. Mildly. It's jiggly. I think it's just jiggly enough that the hose clamp is catching on the lip. Yeah, there we go. Gently remove this. Yeah, boots cooked. I was gonna say, lots of. I guess we could play a fun game. I'm not gonna play, but as I remove components, you can add up, or, oh, excuse me, got hiccups. As I remove bad components, you can add up and see how much it would have cost to oh, that's nifty. As I remove components for components that need to be replaced, that are obviously damaged, add it up and run the cost. This, I don't know what the hell this switch is, to be honest with you, but there's safety wire that was plugged in. So whatever this squat switch does, well, it's not doing anything. Can't touch nothing. I can't remember what that does, but yeah. So there's the thing. I'm not, you know, obviously I have full disclosure with you guys. I'm not 100% familiar with these engines. None of these injectors, nothing has the bridle clip on them, which sucks, really. Yep. Where's my ratchet? Speed ratchet. And bring you guys in maybe a little more. But yeah, we're just slowly working our way. We'll go from this side to that side, start unbolting everything that needs to be unbolted. Random hose clamps floating around, that's good. It's not bad. Let's see. This line is for the power brakes. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind because we're going to have to tap in and make, you know, get power brakes obviously to work again. But we can loosen that. Off. Try to pop this off. There we go. Pop that off. That's all loose. Loose. All right, let's get the other injectors off, and then we'll start popping that thing off. Same thing. I'm just gonna cut the lines. And the fuel rail. What did I do with the first? I was like, what did I do with the first one? It's still attached. All right, let's pop off that side. Is there a better place for this light? I feel like not. Yeah, not really. I'm trying. It's really hard to, like I said, film in here. Let me get this other intake off. Let's pop the throttle cable out. Get that. Get this guy out of there. Save that. All right. That side's off. And the pride is a little stuck. And it's not because I forgot anything. Because trust me, at first I thought I forgot something. Pull this off. That guy, yeah, just it's just everywhere. Like I said, this stuff's very corrosive, especially to like aluminum. And one back here. Well, what am I missing? One right at the back. Crap. Nut. That should be, yep, there we go. All right, stripped. Last thing is this sensor. I think this is another temp sensor. Effectively, everything is out of here. Distributor will come last. But all right, we got a stripped down engine. What we have now, all we have left, charging wire in here. I pulled out the log, sorry. Charging wire, the fuel in and out lines, and that's it. Let me get a vacuum, do some vacuuming under here, get some of this stuff cleaned up, and yeah, we'll start reassembling and hopefully hear this thing, because I really don't want to knock, obviously, stuff into the engine. Oil pressure. All right, give me 1 minute, I'll be back. All right, guys, quick ramble. Has nothing to do with this. I got to do a battery change anyway and get parts. But just want to say, Facebook Marketplace is the devil. If you noticed, or hopefully you can notice, audio is cold outside. And it is mildly quiet in here because I got what I think is the deal of a lifetime. That honking unit right here. This is an old school heater. It's quiet. I mean, it's so old that you don't even have technical data on them anymore. But she puts off the BTUs and she's quiet. Still like my jet heaters. That's a generator. Jet heater, I feel like a weatherman. Still like those, the torpedoes. But that guy, the indirect flamethrower, so much better. All right, and I'm back. Let's start getting this thing all, say, ready to run. New intake gasket. Did I take the old one off? That's the question. No, I did not. That could have been bad. Also, with these kits, the fuel injectors, they have these spacers, pull them. Otherwise, you're going to have a huge gap and not know what the hell's going on. Intake gasket over there. We can just slide you back on. And then intake gasket on this side. I know I pulled this one because I was fighting it. Just some sprayway glass cleaner. It'll make your life a lot easier. Slide them on and slide them past because I'm not in we gotta align everything. And to re-lube, you could re-spray. But if you stop them on the collar, what's gonna happen is they'll stick. Stuff's drying. Because these are tapered. I just screwed up royally. No, I didn't. Will you fit over? Nope. So I'm gonna do the right thing. This big one, you have two different size hose clamps. You have big ones and small ones. Big ones go on the manifold side, small one goes on the, well, other manifold side. Don't need that. Do the right thing, and instead of pulling those boots off, nope, we're just going to pull the boots off and put these back on, and then put these back on. There we go. I was going to take them apart. Trust me, if I forgot them at the point where the engine was together, they'd be coming apart. and I just reattach the hose clamp. But because I only made it this far, it's not a big deal. But yeah, lube makes everything easier. If you love it, lube it. Or if you love your sanity, at least lube it. Where'd that last one go? Come on, get off. Get that between there. Come back. My knuckles are in the way. There, that. I am not having a good time. Well, you want to go on the other way? I don't care. I just need you to attach. All right, there we go. Mount's good. Everything's floating. One thing I'm going to have to do is figure out the throttle cable because it pulls on the driver's side, not the passenger side. So we're going to have to work with that. I did order other parts to hopefully make that part of my life a little easier. But we know how that goes. All right, let's see if we can zip everything down without screwing anything up. Just want to lightly seat all this right now. Oh, now that bolt wants to move. Nut, what have you. Semi-tight on that side. Too many flashlights. Same thing on this side. Semi-tight this one. Let's go forward. Hello, vacuum booster. Go back there. The boots will cover up the gap, so on and so forth. But these things usually align better. Huh. I did it again. Shit. All right, this time we are taking these things apart. Why does my brain not learn? They're only held on by a couple threads anyway, or, you know, whatever, things. Rotations. So I was trying not to do with the other ones. All right. Slide you up, and on. All right, guys, let's get this carburetor on. Gasket, carburetor. One thing I did notice doing this is the throttle cable, which I wasn't accounting for. It's going to have to be replaced. I'll bring you in a minute. But the threads are shot, or threads, I guess you want to call it. Strands. The wires on it are they're shot. Come on. There we go. This is a 38 carburetor. It's not the 32, 34s that you get. I've had better experience out of these 38s than the other ones. So we'll run this. I do have a spare progressive. If I have to use it for some reason, I will. But as of right now, I'm hoping a 38 works better. Snug these down. I'm gonna get my little wrench to get into here to tighten this thing down. Snug. All right, real quick, just out of my own curiosity, see now we're putting in a distributor. One thing I wanted to check, obviously, coil. And I am going to have to make a parts run because, let's unplug that. Nothing's worse than doing something and then blowing it up immediately. Ah, damn it, that belt fell out. There we go. 2.8 ohms. Too hot. She'll smoke the electronics. You need 3 ohms. 3 ohms or higher, you know, 3.3 usually recommended, so on and so forth. So let me do a quick parts run, and we'll hopefully get this thing to fire. Gotta change out the coil. I mean, you're not even in there. What do you even say? But yeah. Yeah. NGK coil, internally regulated. Weird. Yeah, it's too hot. Maybe for points I'd semi-trust it, but I'm not going to trust it. I know what I like, I know what I use, and I try to keep that consistent throughout everything, obviously. So let me do a quick O'Reilly's run, grab some coil, grab a coil, and that looks brand new, unfortunately. And yeah, slam that in, and then we'll slam in a distributor, and hopefully get this thing to fire. Let me double check, see if they have a throttle cable there, because that'd be really ideal if we can get this thing moving. But yeah, the like I said, throttle cable, I don't know if you can see the it's toast. It's hanging on by like one thread. So we'll fix that, because, you know, nothing's better than hitting the gas and then, you know, immediately having no gas. Like I said, I need this thing to chooch so I can get out of the shop, go 180, and come back into the shop so I can get this thing in the air and do anything else I need to do. Fuel pump, we've got to put a low pressure fuel pump in. Nothing against the high pressure that's in here, but I'll just put a low pressure in and get rid of the, like putting in a pressure regulator. Point of failure, I guess is what I'm getting at. So I'll be right back, and yeah, hopefully we'll get this thing to fire. All right, back from the O'Reilly's run. New coil. No external resistor needed. The normal ones I use. Also, if you hear clanging and booming in the background, John's here and he's working on the Jeep. Just FYI, or if I randomly yell at somebody. But anyway, I hooked up, put the leads on already. 3.3. I trust this one more. So now we got a good coil. Yeah, I've never seen one run that low. But anyway, who's and ways, if you will. Let's pull this distributor out. Get that wire out of the way. Number one is this way, currently. I'm hoping to keep it number one this way. Roll you guys in here. All right. Hopefully this distributor cooperates. Like I said, there's a bolt in here, nut in here, whatever. I have no idea how they got it in there, due to the fact that I was struggling to get it out to tighten to try to get a gap. All right, one distributor out. Yeah, like I said, it's like a sheet metal screw in there holding the points gap. This thing's garbage, but we'll grab the new one. I already made jumper leads so that we can, well, jumper it to where it needs to go. All right, vacuum can backwards. Where do we have marks on this one? I can never remember. Yes, cylinder 1. Make sure nothing's obviously screwed up on the electronics. Well, we have a mark. It's right here. So it'll still be orientated correctly to where it needs to be. Clunk. So yeah, dust cap 1 should drop in here. And the splines look correct. I have had these, I think the last car, I had to switch this drive around, or one of the last cars, I had to switch the drive around because it was backwards. Not really ideal. Let's get this guy to go in its home. In its home. Work it past the gasket. Let's lube the gasket so I don't break it. Some of these things are tighter than others because it's new. All right, coil's mounted. Nice and snug. Let's get new plugs in this thing. Get all this old stuff out. Old wire. Now, new cap. We'll, like always, we'll static time this thing before we try to do anything. I do not have, unfortunately, yeah, there we go. I unfortunately do not have line. I'll pick that up tomorrow because I'm not running to O'Reilly's again today. It's a block for the power booster. Just want that a little snug. The distributor clamp, so we can rotate it. Yeah, so we'll just start it up without. We'll block off this so we don't have an air leak, and then just start it up without the it connected. And I'll just get a hose to go from there to there. Not a big deal. Plugs. We'll NASCAR them out and then properly install them. All right, guys, distributor's in, plugs are wired, or plugs are in, plugs are wired. New wires. I'm gonna twist the key. I got my test light on. I'm gonna static time this thing. I also have fuel running to it. Fuel pump is disconnected. Like I said, I'm gonna put on a new fuel pump. But let's see what this thing can. Let's see what this can do. The engine's already set to 8 degrees because that's what's on the degree wheel. So hopefully that light's gonna come on whenever we get it right. All right, bring you guys in. We want this this light to kick on when we're ready to fire. There we go. Man, that seems way back. I mean, that's what it says it wants. All right. Static. Get this light off. Gonna put the old fuel jug on camera stand. Another camera stand. Choke is wired, so and so forth. Might work, might not, who knows? Let's turn this thing and see what happens. I'm not really convinced on, oop, watch your legs. Everything's clear, wired. That battery doesn't seem like it wants any of it, and it's charged. Let me put it on the charger and give a little more oomph, possibly. She's trying. Let me just back that up a little bit. More fuel. It's cranking super slow. I smell it. Something's at least igniting. Keep it on this. Let's see. Let's see. Should fire. But yeah, it's rotating really slowly. Man, I hate to say this, but I might have to stop this episode to get a freaking starter. Because this is not going to plan. All right, if any of you have been yelling at me because I got the firing order wrong, yeah. That is a whole thing. I wired it and oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, I am a complete schmuck. Yeah, I completely screwed up. I TDC'd it to cylinder 2. Well, the engine was TDC'd correctly, except my location of spark plug was not. Back it up, Terry. All right, right about there. Two's over here, and then 3. We're 180'd. I don't know why, unless that drives in backwards, because that slash marks up with the 1. Cylinder 1 should be cylinder 1, not 3. But we'll see what happens. I'm really good at going 180 out. God damn it! Son of a bitch! I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Somehow I do this all the time. And it's only on these pancakes or suitcases, whatever you want to call it. Why? I don't know. That was me. I don't know if you can hear the popping. You probably can. We have a cylinder on the front side that is not happy. That's that high pitch pop, pop, pop. So valve issue maybe. Out of hanging, sticking open, too adjusted. We're gonna have to get under her, but she idles, she runs. I'm an idiot. All right, guys, this is where I'm at. It runs. I should be able to limp it out and turn it around. But we have to get it in the air, and I have to see what's going on with those valves. I might crawl under and look at it, but right now. But yeah, at least it turns. I'm an idiot. It's 180 off. I don't know why I can't remember this in my head. That somehow I always get them screwed up and I get them backwards. Every time. But yeah, that hard pop you're hearing is coming out the inlet, so that means a valve isn't seating, which in turn means we have a cylinder that's not cylindering. So I'm hoping it's just a sticky valve. I'll dump the oil, put new oil in, marvel in it obviously, like I normally do. Run a little more pink in here because I don't have that much, and hopefully we'll break it loose. So give me a second, I'm gonna let this thing idle for a bit more, see if it comes around, but I wanna put marble in here and see if it breaks, frees up that valve. But yeah, that popping you're hearing is coming straight out the intake. I don't know which one. I know it's on the front cylinder because I can actually feel the air hit my hand. It also could be the back because it's not like it's a split plenum, but I'm thinking it's the front. I'm gonna hold the tubes, see if I can actually feel explosion in one of the tubes. But I think this is where we're gonna pretty much cap this one. Stay tuned for my next ramble. All right, guys, it's the next day. I had a little bit of a sleep. I'm not gonna end it right now as far as the engine's hurt. Running the engine yesterday, I didn't have the camera on, but I think I said, it sounded like it was coming from the forward cylinders. It was, or it is, put it that way. Intake 2 is getting extremely warm. And the only reason it's getting warm would be is if that valve's not shutting, or if it's a burnt valve and it's, letting exhaust flow backwards. Not ideal if it's burnt valve or a damaged head. Misadjusted rocker, on the other hand, I'm hoping that's what it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop open the valve cover. Just gonna, if you didn't know, these engines, they're hydraulically controlled hydraulics. Lifters, hydro lifters. I'm just gonna crawl under there, pop the valve cover off, back the screw off. Just how the engine is, not even gonna set it because I want to go through the valves correctly. But I'm gonna back the screw off a half a turn. Half a turn's not gonna hurt anything, and if it is a valve, hopefully the engine comes around and we stop the popping, I guess is what we're getting at, or what I'm getting at. So let me crawl under there, see if we can solve that, because I'd like all 4 cylinders to run. Just saying. It would be quite nice. All right, let me crawl under, back that adjuster off, and I'll get right back to you for, well, it's gonna be a cold fire. We'll see how a cold fires, if we got it right, because I mean, figure when you put the timing in the right order, the engine runs. Yep, be right back. All right, guys, I'm a half a turn in on it. If it doesn't work, I didn't replace these yet. But we got new gaskets. Let's crank it over. I mean, see what happens. We know it runs 1 to 3, and it's popping out the intake of the, intake of the 4th one, which would be number 2, math. So let's give it a couple pumps and see what happens. Like I said, I gotta go back and do all the valves anyway. I just want to make sure that it does something. We haven't timed it or anything yet. It's just, well, it is what it is right now. Come on. Well, what is going on now? Come on. Man, it's doing like the same thing again. Like it's just fighting me. I swear I'm fighting the starter. Turn the jump pack back on. Come on. I'm fighting the starter. I didn't realize this has duals. Much better. No more popping. A little clackety, but like I said, we gotta go through the valves. That intake valve was just way too tight. It was letting backflow. I could actually feel all the channels cold. This thing's smoky, and I don't even have that much mystery sauce in this. All right, guys, as you can tell by the background, whoo, I am monoxiding the crap out of myself. That little chirp, well, it was the timing. I was like 40 degrees, so got my light on it. Idling's good now. Carb's a little tuned in, but everything's set properly. We don't have it trying to jump out of, jump all over the place. Still smoking. I'm hoping the rings come around. Yeah. The new tick you hear is just the valves. Still smoking, but I don't know if that, we burnt a lot. So, let me shut this off. Actually, hot refire, what do we do? All right, let me vent this and close this out. Yes, we're not driving yet because, well, I need throttle cables and stuff, but let me recap this. I'm happy the engine sounds good, healthy. This is ridiculous. The stuff I go through. This feels like the 38th time I'm capping up this video. Anywho, try this again. I need cue cards or a teleprompter. I'll still argue with that. 82 Vanagon, it runs. Owner bought, I think I said the owner bought it with the assumption that it ran, told it ran. Looks like it ran, except it caught on fire. So immediately that's why we went with the carb swap. The carb swap works. The engine sounds good. After all the little hiccups we had as far as valve being too tight, hence the popping, and my timing off, and that was the squeak. It was just the timing was just enough to beep by a valve. So with that said, knowing a valve's tight, or was tight, probably everything else is tight too. This thing's probably never had a valve adjustment, or maybe in its earlier life it did. With that said, I do know someone's been in there when I took off that valve cover, someone RTV'd the gasket on. Another reason I didn't change the gasket. Also, if it didn't fix it, why waste parts? Gonna be in there again anyway. Anywho's, digress, regress. Engine sounds good. I'm fairly confident. I can tell the owner, hey, let's, you're gonna have a good bus. It revs up. You got to slow rev it just due to the fact that I don't have the vacuum attached. It's just running straight centrifugal. Centrifugal? I like centrifugal. It's running straight centrifugal. So you got to ease on it so that the weights can do weight things. Kind of like your 009. When the vacuum gets attached, it'll be able to rev out. But on the rev, it sounds great. No, not doing anything. The engine runs fairly good. I really think we still have a weak starter. When it tries to hit, it's doing like it was doing when I was 180 off. It tries to hit and just locks up the engine. So we might address putting a starter on here. But other than that, hot start's fine. Either that or this engine's really tight, which I don't see it. It's not new. With that said, let me close out this episode. If you like this video of this 82 Vanagon, join us for the next episode, because we should hopefully be doing more things. Like, I'm hoping a road test after all the parts come in. I don't know how to shut up now, do I? Anywho, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you, we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching. Hopefully, see you on the next one for part 2, and hopefully the final one. But if you ever watch this channel, it never works that way. Thanks, guys.